Hello everyone and welcome back to the Bladed Tech Show. So I promised this a little bit earlier in the week. In fact, I think it's 2 days late now. Um, but I wanted to take the time to talk about the new Spider-Man reboot title. We now know that the new Spider-Man reboot is going to be called Spider-Man Homecoming. That's what it's going to be called. That's truly what it's going to be called. And that required the removal of my glasses because that is a fucking horrible title. So let me direct you to a title that would have been better. The Spectacular Spider-Man. Even, I know the rumors were Spider-Man, the new Avenger. And I would have been fine with it. I would have raised a complete stink about that title. In fact, I kind of don't like the new Spider-Man movie has a subtitle because let me show you one of the posters I own that fell from its place up here. So this is an IMAX poster for Amazing Spider-Man 2. So this is back when Sony wasn't afraid to have sequels with numbers. When comic book movies weren't afraid to have numbers. By the way, great poster. It just keeps falling because I have to retape it every now and again. I'm gonna put this up in a frame because it's too beautiful. I mean, look at that shine to Spider-Man's body, which is kind of in part how the movie looks. So and it's a cool little thing. And there's a lot of Easter eggs in there with IMAX stuff in there that you wouldn't notice if you didn't look closely enough. But anyways, enough about the poster. More on the title of Spider-Man Homecoming. So one, it sounds appropriately juvenile. It's something I would expect my 18. This is like a title only a fan could come up with, and that's a good thing and a bad thing. Meaning that this sounds like fan fiction titles, like Spider-Man, Venom's back or something like that. Some stupid title. I can think of one real quick, but or Brand New Day. That was an awful title, I thought. Back in Black, great title. Which one of my favorite Spider-Man storylines. Which I hope they do when Tom Holland gets like 30, 40 years old, because that's when you can only do in that time period. But anyways, Spider-Man Homecoming, I actually read a possible plot spoiler, so let me know. So you might want to mute this because I'm having potential spoilers for the movie in 3, 2, 1. Mute it if you don't want to hear spoilers. So I saw a plot description saying that what Tony Stark's role in it is, and what the whole plot is about. And basically what it is Peter Parker's going to the homecoming dance. His date is Danya, or whatever the new cast member is. I can't remember her name, but the girl off Disney Channel. That's going to be his date to the homecoming, henceforth, Spider-Man Homecoming. And that's the homecoming part of it. But it's also a dual meaning because, actually, no, triple meaning, because Spider-Man's coming home to Marvel, which general audience doesn't know. Even my mom didn't know it until I told her. So, in fact, she didn't even know the title for the new Spider-Man movie. I'm gonna make it an effort to go and see it with her because, we always see all the Spider-Man movies together. It's a tradition. I won't break that tradition. There would be hell to pay. Then 3, Spider-Man is on his race to go home after he finds out that Tony Stark's at his house or something like that. That's a potential plot. Spoilers are over now. So, oh, and then Vulture might be in it, but I don't know if I believe that rumor or that Michael Keaton's supposed to be the Vulture in this, and I'm like, ugh. You got Eddie Izzard, or not Eddie Izzard, Rice Ifans to do, I think that's his name, do Kurt Connors and Lizard, and that did not turn out so well. I mean, I liked him, but he had some bad moments in there. Maybe it is Eddie Izzard. I don't know. I feel like that's wrong. But some other titles I would have accepted, or this was my lead runner with this, which would have made more sense with the way they're kind of naming things. Because there's multiple Spider-Man stories. What you could have done is either Ultimate Spider-Man, or what I think the storyline is going to be for this new Spider-Man universe, Spectacular Spider-Man. Because he's 14, he's just starting out his career as Spider-Man, and he's also very tech-savvy, it seems like. Or at least has close tech associations. He doesn't just go up to, Oscorp Tower and be like, yo, okay, I'm gonna get that shipped to me. Okay, yeah, I didn't make my own computers. No big deal. But and I kind of also want to talk about what I want this Spider-Man movie to be, and what I don't want it to be. One, I don't want it to be. So let's get it into what I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be focused at teenagers anymore. I do not want that at all. I mean, I know Sony's relying on that with casting that Disney Channel actress, and a really young actor that's only been seen a few times in some small movies, and a director who's been seen in like one or two movies, who's not relatively well known. But I really don't want them to go with that. That's actually what I liked about Amazing Spider-Man. Is yes, he was in high school. He didn't go to college for some reason. I found that weird. He also, yeah, like he didn't do that thing where he was going to Kurt Connors and was like, hey, I have some problems with this. That's what I liked about Spider-Man 2. And then in Spider-Man, we kind of got glimpses of, Peter in Spider-Man 3, which was actually the best part of Spider-Man 3. I will defend those parts of the movie, where he's adult Spider-Man, where he's dealing with like relationship problems. Fact is, that part didn't translate too well. I wish it would have done Back in Black instead, like just a black suit story. But anyways, because Sandman didn't fit, and and I actually like Electro because it's like he's down on his luck. I actually like Amazing Spider-Man 2. I will defend that movie until the day I die, probably. Unless, Spider-Man just kills it in this new Civil War movie, which I don't know how I feel about that, but here's what I would like it to do. They're talking about how Peter Parker in this movie is really, really, really smart, He's really book smart. He's 14 years old, he's starting out in high school, but he's also a genius. So what I'd like him to do, yes, I'd like to have Tony Stark in the movie. That's a very key important thing in this movie, is to say, hey, here's our Marvel Cinematic Universe connection. And maybe even have Captain America in there. Or maybe they do that in Civil War. I don't know. I haven't seen it. A lot of people have. And I think that's what... Go watch my Civil War reaction trailer. I don't remember which trailer it was, but it doesn't matter. The movie's coming out in like less than a month, so it doesn't matter at this point. But what I'd like them to do story-wise, like comic book plot-wise, is the story of, this might be too expensive and too risky to do in one movie, so you might have to do it in like over 2 or 3 movies, if you really want to like play it up, because this was a big story. I would like them to do the Spider Slayers. I'd actually really, really like them to do the story of Alistair and Spencer Smythe. You don't have to do Alistair because he's kind of not the main guy, Alistar Smythe's like, you killed my father. You must die. You know, like Inigo Montoya. That's his father. Yeah. I only hear about the movie. I need to watch it. But anyways, I would really like that storyline because if you want to show how smart this new Peter Parker is, how smart this new Spider-Man is. I mean, he's got a gadget belt on his thing. Just old Spider-Man didn't have that. He was just like, well, I think I'm just gonna sit here until this magic computer finds all my answers for me. Which that was kind of Deus Ex Machina. But anyways, I'm not here to talk about the failings of past films. I'm here to talk about the failings of this film, or at least where I think it's getting off on the wrong foot. But really quick, I want to finish up my Spider Slayers theory. I really hope they do the Spider Slayers theme because you could even you remember the Hulkbuster armor, right, in Age of Ultron? Now, what that was originally aimed to do is Tony Stark helps build the Spider Slayers. So you'd have a big threat to Spider-Man himself, because what the Spider Slayers could do is they later retconned this because originally they were like, oh, Doctor Octopus made the Spider Slayers in the cartoon series, and I was like, or no, it was the Octobots, which were basically Spider Slayers because they could also detect Spider-Man's DNA. But I'm a big Spider-Man nerd, if you don't know. I mean, I went to the IMAX showing. I paid $12 extra to go see an IMAX. 3D even. I don't like 3D. I paid for it for this movie. Because, I mean, seeing that in 3D was actually pretty cool. Wish they would have done more first-person stuff. But people hated that, so fuck off, everybody. But anyways, I know I'm making this video a bit long, but I love Spider-Man. I could talk about him for days on end. But the Spider Slayers could detect Spider-Man's DNA and lock onto him and know exactly where he is. So you'd have that crisis of, okay, I've got to think my way out of this instead of punching my way out of this, which would be really cool. And I'll talk about my Batman thoughts later on this week. Someone's yelling in the hallway. It's kind of loud. A lot of people are yelling nowadays. But anyways. I just wanted to give you my thoughts. I'm probably not going to call it Spider-Man Homecoming unless I directly have to. Unless somebody says, "What's the whole new Spider-Man movie?" I'm like, Spider-Man Homecoming. And it stars all these teen actors and shit. I would be interested to see who the cast is other than that girl. I'd love to see JJJ. Triple J. I'd love to see him. But I can talk about that as we get closer to the release of the movie. But otherwise, I don't want it to lean into that too heavily. I don't want it to feel like it has to rely on past knowledge of it. In fact, that's actually kind of what I liked about Amazing Spider-Man, that series. It was like, hey, the Daily Bugle exists, but then it got to a point where I was like, well, maybe Jonah Jameson exists in this universe. But then and then they even had negotiations with shit, what is his name? J.K. Simmons. So similar. To come back on for Amazing Spider-Man 3, and he almost took it, which would have been awesome. But thing is, I think that was too close to the original Spider-Man franchise that I think we were too, like, nostalgic about that. Here we can kind of be like, okay, here's the new Spider-Man. He doesn't look like he's 50. Not 50. He doesn't look like he's 30 when he's supposed to be in high school. He looks 10 when he's supposed to be 14. So, I can totally dig that. What are your thoughts on Spider-Man Homecoming's title or whatever? I have to call it that. I'm sorry. How do you think of that as the title? What would you rather see as the title? What would you like to see in the story? What would you like to see as the villain? I mean, I think Vulture could be a good villain, but, I mean, the problem is playing Michael Keaton wouldn't work. Because you'd have to have CGI straps, and I even saw a theory that maybe they, Vulture is the, founder of that Falcon tech, which would be really cool, but and then you tie it back into MCU. Oh, that'd be so great. But other than that, really, I don't want to see Vulture. Keep him on my video games, like Firefly. Keep them in my video games. Don't put them in my movies. The movies that I enjoy. But anyways, that does all for that. What do you think of the new title for the Spider-Man reboot in 2017? We're only a year away from this, I think. But if we're not, I actually like that they're doing this slow burn. But although they should have announced this earlier. But anyways, you'll know why in the next few videos. As Spider-Man: Homecoming ramps up release. But comment down below what you think the plot should be, and the villain should be, as well as liking this video if you did, disliking it if you did, and then subscribing if you want to see more comic book related videos where I just rant on and on about my favorite superheroes, or the favorite movies I think you need to see via my movie reviews. But until the next time where we talk about Doctor Strange's teaser trailer, I'm actually going to do a new thing where I watch it and react to it live for my second viewing. So, anyways, watch out for that. I'll see you over on theverticalslice.com as well as Twitter at AustinBelzer. See you soon.